Okay, let's look at our test review here. This is going to be question 1. What is the domain? So domain is asking what is the x, or the values of x. Well, the x-axis is right here. Well, if this is your x-axis, it's asking you how far left and right does this graph travel in the x direction. So let's see if we can build a fence. Let's see if we can fence this guy in right here. Well, we can. So if we look here, and it's kind of blurry, there's an open circle, and we're fencing it in on the x-axis right here at 0. Right? So that's 0. It goes to the origin. So our first fence is an open circle, and it's at 0. So the fence starts at 0. It's an open circle, so we use our open circle symbol. And let's fence it in on the other side here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we can fence it in at 5 on the x-axis. But this is a closed circle. This is a closed circle, so we're going to use our closed circle symbol. And we are talking about the domain, the x value. So let's match it up, and it looks like our answer is A. So be careful, make sure that when you're taking the test that you're looking, are they asking for the domain? If they were asking for the range, we would do this. We would build a floor and a ceiling, and we would say how far down and up, and you would still have to look. This would be a closed circle because it's on the graph. Here we go, question 2. What is the range? The range, they're talking about the y values of this. Well, look here, these are the x values, and we said that f of x, that's the same as saying the y values. So these 3 numbers are my y values. So you just match it up, -9, -4, and -1. And there you go, it's just that simple. Just look at your vocabulary. Is it domain or is it range? So let's look at 3. This will be question 3 here. The set of ordered pairs below represents some points on the graph of the function f. What is the parent function? So we need to figure out which one of these is the parent function. I know it's not letter D, because we don't talk about those parents. We talk about these 3, y equals x, y equals x squared, and y equals 2 to the x power. Well, if I remember, y equals x, that's a straight line. Y equals x squared, that's the quadratic. And then y equals 2 to the x, that's the exponential. That's the one that looks like this. So we have to figure out which one of these parents belong to this here. Well, let's graph this. Let's go over here and let's draw us an x and y axis. Here's x, here's y. And so let's see here. And it looks like we have to go quite a bit. So we're going to go over 3. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's plot some points. Let's start here. 3, 11. So I'm going to go over 3 and up 11. Well, up 11 will be one more than that, and I'll put a dot. Let's go -1. So here's -1 and up 3. 1, 2, 3. Put a dot here. So let's go over 5. Over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And up 15. Well, we said this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 will be up here. So it's going to look like that right there. Looks like it's starting to make a straight line, but we're not sure. Let's keep plotting. -4, -3. So 1, 2, 3. This is -4. Down 1, 2. This is -3. So we're going to put a point here. And then -7. This is -4, 5, 6, 7. So there's -7. -9 is going to be down here. And if you look, and I know it's not 100% perfect, but that is going to be a straight line. Well, you could graph each one of these. I could put each one of these in y equals and match up which one is the parent. And if you look, it's going to be A. That's going to be your linear parent function, y equals x. Number 4, which equation is the parent function of the graph below? We just answered that. This is a quadratic. We don't deal with f, and if I graph, and we don't even deal with j. So I can graph both of these. We already said y equals x is the line. If I put this in the calculator, you're going to get something that's going to look like this. It makes a parabola. That's your parent. In fact, the parent function looks like this. I can do this here. It's going to look like this. And they look the same. They're similar. So your answer is H. All right, here we go. I think this is 5. Simplify. So we're going to have to do some distribution here. So let's start here. We're going to put our 1 and distribute the 3. 3 times 1x is 3x. And then we have 3 times positive 1 is positive 3. So we are done with this guy right here. We're not going to reuse any of that. So now let's distribute this one over here. This negative 2. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. And one more. Negative 2 times positive 7. It's going to give you negative 14. So now we're done with this. Our parentheses are gone. Let's combine up our like terms. Let's look at our x's. I have positive 3x minus 6x. That's going to give me negative 3x. Now let's look at our numbers. Positive 3 minus 14. If I do that, that's going to give me negative 11. So let's match up our answer. Our answer is F. And our last one. In which step below does a mistake first appear in simplifying the expression? So if I were to actually do this, I would have to come over here. This is half. Anytime you multiply something by half, let's see what happens. We can actually do this on the calculator here. Watch what happens. We're going to distribute this decimal. It's okay to do that. Watch what happens here. 0.5 times negative 12. 0.5 times negative 12. Notice I'm not putting the letter C because whatever the answer is, I know C is going to go with it. Well, when I do that, I'm going to get negative 6C. So when I multiply by half, I'm really just dividing it by 2. So if I do 0.5 times positive 6, if you can't do that, 0.5 times 6, I'm going to get positive 3. Well, if you look right here in step 1, it looks like that's what they've done so far, right? They've done everything that we have. So let's keep going. Let's do the next distribution. Negative 3 times C, or negative 3 times 1C. So let's see here. That would be negative 3C. And then negative 3 times positive 4, it's going to give me negative 12. If you look right here, what they ended up doing is they did this first and rewrote the entire problem. Did what's in blue second and rewrote that last distribution. And then they distributed right here at the very end. Let's use a different color. 10 times C is 10C, that's positive. And then positive 10 times negative 5 is negative 50. So what they did in step 1, they did this distribution in yellow and rewrote the last part of the problem. Then they did the second distribution in blue and rewrote that. And then did the last distribution in red and rewrote that. And so let's see if our steps are correct. Let's actually solve this. Let's look at our letters here. Negative 6C minus 3C, that's going to give me negative 9C, but I still have plus 10 over here of those C's I need to do. If I combine that, I get 1C. Notice they got 7C. So they distributed the yellow right here in step 1, and then in step 2, they distributed the blue right here. And then in step 3, they distributed the red, so everything matched up until the very end when they combined like terms. So step 4 is incorrect. So they're asking, where did they make their mistake in step 4?